Some time ago, I was having a conversation, and the person mentioned King Charles, and it took me a second or two to process who's he talking about, because not used to hearing King Charles. I've always heard my whole life a Prince Charles, and so it didn't quite register. And and I've only seen a few pictures of King Charles so far, and they don't match the image I have in my head of a king. You know, it's my image is more of those cartoon or movie figures of the king always has this huge crown, big beard, you know, fancy a cape, and he's seated on a throne. Well, that's not what I've seen of King Charles, and maybe he does have all that, and maybe he does sit around most of the time dressed like that, but I've just seen him in kind of ordinary attire. And as I was thinking of King Charles, I was like, well, if I have a king, I must be part of his kingdom, I guess, but it doesn't really affect my life, does it? Or at least I don't know that it affects my life, and I certainly don't have any type of relationship with him, right? I just can't call him up, or I don't expect he's all that interested in hearing from me in the first place. You know, there's no personal relationship, and I'm guessing none of you have a personal relationship with him. Let me know after Mass. I don't want you to, you know, start telling me about King Charles right here and now, but it's not affecting our life, right? That it doesn't have a direct effect in our life that we have a king. Contrast that to Jesus, our king, right? Jesus' kingship has a very direct effect in our life here and now and for eternity, because his kingdom is a universal and eternal kingdom. And so it has a direct effect in our lives of faith today, right now, and it has a direct effect for our eternity. And Jesus invites us into a personal relationship with him, right? So that he is always with us. He's always close to us at every moment, in good times and in bad times. And in a sense, he's actually closer to us when we are experiencing difficult moments, when we're experiencing crosses in our lives. And in that relationship, Jesus invites us to be part of his kingdom, to be sons and daughters of God, to be sons and daughters of the King now and forever. No earthly king or queen, for that matter, can offer that to us. No king or queen of this earth can have that kind of effect on our lives. Now, the image that our gospel presents of Jesus as our king is quite different than that image I have in my mind. We have Jesus, our king, on the cross, falsely condemned, tortured, dying as a criminal on the cross. And it certainly appears that he is in need of help, right? That our king is in need of being saved. And that's what they mock him with, these three groups of people. First, the religious leaders who scoff and say, he saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Christ of God, the chosen one. Then the soldiers mock him, saying, if you are king of the Jews, save yourself. And one of the criminals derides him, saying, are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us. But the other criminal, the one we refer to as the good thief, he responds much differently. He rebukes the other one, saying, do you not fear God? Right? Do you not fear God? Do you not believe that there is a God who is eternal and who reigns from heaven? We might add today on this feast day, do you not fear God? Do you not believe that Jesus is King of the universe? Right? Yet, he wants to be with us. He wants to be close to us, that he wants us to draw close to him, to be part of his kingdom. Or we could say, do you not believe that Jesus wants to help you in your daily struggles? Do you not believe that Jesus offers you forgiveness because he loves you and he wants you to be close to him? The good thief does fear the Lord, and he does have faith in Jesus, and in humility he prays, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. The good thief recognizes to some degree that Jesus is the chosen one of God, the Christ. Now, he probably didn't realize the fullness of who Jesus was. He didn't realize that Jesus' kingdom was universal and eternal, but his fear of the Lord allows him to have faith in Jesus and asks to be remembered by him. Right? Jesus, remember me. In other words, Jesus, remember me according to your mercy. Jesus, save me. And there is a direct effect to his prayer. Jesus makes a promise. Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. It's a total game changer for this man, right? This man is dying on a cross because of his crime. Right? He's dying on the cross because of his sin, and Jesus saves him. Now, Jesus does not save this good thief from the cross, right? He doesn't save him from the cross, but he assures him that he will be with him always. And he grants him eternal life. He grants him eternal salvation. Notice also that Jesus doesn't save himself from the cross. And this is the paradox of the cross, that by not saving himself from death on the cross, Jesus saves others from death. Right? By not saving himself from death on the cross, Jesus saves others from eternal death. Jesus, the King of the universe, does not need to be saved from the cross. Right? He doesn't need help on the cross. The cross is his self-offering. Right? On the cross, Jesus offers his love. He pours out his love freely in order to redeem all of humanity, in order to offer forgiveness to all. Jesus is the Redeemer of humanity who alone can offer eternal life. In our second reading, St. Paul wrote, "The Father has rescued us from the power of darkness and transferred us into the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins." Through our baptism, we are to live as members of Jesus' kingdom. And when we choose to submit ourselves to his kingship, when we respond to his kingship by being obedient to his reign over our lives, and inspired by that fear of the Lord, inspired by, I believe that in this God who is eternal, who reigns on high. I believe that he can save me. In that case, you can experience the effects of his forgiveness, his mercy. We experience his redeeming embrace in our lives. Redeeming embrace. Those are the words from Pope Francis. 3 weeks ago, I was preaching on Zacchaeus and how he climbed the sycamore tree and stepped out in faith in order to encounter Jesus, but simultaneously Jesus was seeking to encounter Zacchaeus. And to encourage us in our desiring to encounter Jesus, I used the words of Pope Francis when he wrote, "I invite all Christians everywhere at this very moment to a renewed personal encounter with Jesus Christ, or at least an openness to letting him encounter them. I ask all to do this unfailingly each day." To encounter Jesus is another way of saying that we are entering into a personal relationship with him, a personal relationship that affects us in our daily lives. Now, Pope Francis, in the next sentence, wrote this: "Now is the time to say to Jesus, 'Lord, I have let myself be deceived. In 1,000 ways I have shunned your love. Yet here I am once more to renew my covenant with you. I need you. Save me once again, Lord. Take me once more into your redeeming embrace. I need you. Save me once again, Lord. Take me once more into your redeeming embrace.'" It seems to me that, the Pope is unpacking the good thief's prayer, that prayer of Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And encountering Jesus in faith is to experience the difference that his redeeming embrace makes in our life. His redeeming embrace is the security of faith that we experience when we know that we are forgiven by our merciful King. His redeeming embrace is knowing that he is close to us, right? That he is with us in good times and in difficult times, in those times that we are experiencing the cross in our lives. And in fact, as I said, he is especially close to us in those moments. His redeeming embrace is our hope of living with him in paradise eternally. Jesus' kingship has a direct effect on our lives of faith here and now, and it affects our eternal life. Jesus, our merciful King, did not save himself from the pain and death of the cross in order to save us, right? In order to save me, in order to redeem all of humanity, to offer that forgiveness to all, and to open the gates of paradise to all who fear the Lord and put their faith in Jesus the Christ, the chosen one, the King of the universe.